Hey there, folks. I'd like to read a story about my old friend Ron LaClair. It's called Return to Armstrong Creek. Well, boys, I told you the tale once afore, a tale I spun about Armstrong Creek, as he began, setting his coffee mug down hard on the table. How I hightailed it out of there like a spooked whitetail. I'd said no ghost was going to scare old Ron, then I bolted faster than a doe with a hound on her tail. But I've been haunted ever since, not by fear, but by a stubborn itch to set things right. Talk about eating crow. My pride was hurting, and I knew I had to go back, had to prove to myself once again that Ron LaClair wasn't just a lot of tall tales and bluster. So I grabbed my old longbow, strung her tight, and headed back to that beautiful creek, the heart of Shrew Valley, in the UP along Armstrong Creek. Sun had risen, painting the sky in fire and blood, when I reached the familiar bend. The October air was still as a frozen stream, the only sound, the crunch of my boots on the frosty forest floor. "Show yourself, you haunting coward!" I bellowed, my voice echoing off the silent pines. And there he was, the phantom hunter. He looked less like a ghost and more like a man in the river fog and cedars. Not a wailing sheet-wearer, but a woodsman of old, eyes glowing like embers, clad in buckskin that seemed spun from moonlight itself. He didn't speak at first, but gave a simple nod, then said, "Back again, living man? Thinking you got the sand this time, do you?" he rasped, his voice a sound like dry leaves blowing over the ice. "This time," he said, "we settle this claim. An archery contest. Winner takes all the hunting rights, loser banished forever. What say you?" My heart hammered a beat against my ribs, but I held my ground. "You're on, you old will-o'-wisp," I shot back, trying to sound braver than I felt. I held my shrew bow high. So the challenge began, and friends, I tell you, this ghost had skills beyond the living. He split my first arrow clean after I shot first, then grinned a frosty grin. "Pretty good for a shade," I bantered back, "but can you hit a fallen acorn?" With a flick of my wrist, I launched an acorn into the air, drawing quick and letting fly, hitting it dead center. It shattered in the sky. He matched me, except his went through 2 acorns, each of us trying to outdo the other. A close match, a dance of skill. The air alive with the twang of bowstrings and the whiz of arrows in flight. Our taunting was sharp as broadheads, the match close as 2 ticks on a hound dog. Ron now lifting the cup of coffee to his lips for another sip, he continued. We moved through the cedar swamp, each shot a challenge, trick shots that would have made Robin Hood proud. It was time for the final challenge. Who could bag the biggest buck on that silent, shadowy hill? This would determine the winner once and for all. Hours we stalked, the tension thick, and when the sun began to dip, I spotted a magnificent 12-pointer, antlers wide as a young sapling, a true monarch of the wild. My arrow flew true and fast and hit its mark. Just then I saw him emerging from the thicket, old Armstrong, with his 9-point slung across his shoulder, a fine trophy indeed, but mine the better by far, his ghostly form seeming to grow colder. He looked at mine, a low groan escaped his spectral throat, a sound of bitter defeat. He lost, fair and square. The better hunter had won this day. A bitter wail ripped through the air, mournful and sharp. He hung his head, spectral shoulders slumping. "I must leave now," he conceded, the sound full of defeat. "Hold on, old fella," I called out, my victory feeling hollow. "There's enough room for both you and I, and my hunting pals too, here at Shrew Hollow alongside Armstrong Creek. Besides," I said, a grin spreading across my face, "this place wouldn't be the same without the old legend, The Legend of the Ghost of Armstrong Creek. He paused, a flicker of something almost human in his eyes, and a spectral nod was all the answer I needed. And the moral of the story, you ask? Sometimes the fears we face aren't meant to be vanquished entirely, but understood and embraced. For life and the tales we tell are richer with a little mystery, a bit of the wild, and the legends like that of Armstrong Creek.